Draymond's going to be up here right after this.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Are we ready? But if you can just kind of speak to like how you got that spark, especially in the second half, to kind of wield you guys to that win tonight.
I know Robin was out tonight, so I had to step up. That was it. I had to be in Alfred tonight. I know Jimmy's out. I just know it's at stake. You don't want to go down 2-1 in the series, especially at home in first playoff game here. Want to make an impression and match the physicality and just come out and make shots. No really lacking making shots, and just trying to be a spark plug for this team and do all the right things I can be and be efficient as I can.
But you haven't played in very many playoff games in your career. How much are you sort of savoring this opportunity to have a chance on this kind of stage?
Just taking it in possession by possession, just learning. Intensity is fun, is great, especially being out there with great players like Steph and Draymond and the coaching staff helping me. But you just got to enjoy the moment, seize the moment, and you can't be shy when opportunity comes. You got to be out there and just fire it and be free.
Buddy, Steve said that you guys figured out the spacing tonight. In your mind, what did that mean? Like, what changed?
Just spacing, just being when they put two on the ball, just sliding to open spots where the guy who's rolling to make the guy who's tagging make a decision. Either he's going to give up a layup or give up a three. And my job as a shooter is just be in a space where find a window where I can get a clean look, and if they run me up the line, be able to drive that gap in and kick it back out.
Buddy, what is Jimmy Butler like as a coach on the bench when he's not playing in these games?
Terrible advice. Terrible advice. I just was like tuning him out the whole time. He's being good. He's being positive. He's telling me how to read drives. Except for that one time I get picked by Stephen Adams. He just gave me that look, and I was like, yo, don't even talk about it. Yeah. But he's being good. He's just talking and just encouraging everybody, and just especially when Draymond get attacked, he was letting everybody know that was good for our team. He go down and get us going, and that was big. It changed the game for us.
Buddy, what does it do for you over to your left? What does it do for you and your teammates when you watch Steph do his thing, like in a game like this when Jimmy ain't out there? Steph,
I said it earlier, he sees these type of moments. I've watched him my whole life from college to now, and the previous playoff runs he's been on, and watching him against this physical team, he embraces that, he thrives off that, and you look at him as smaller than everybody, but he goes there and he's a competitor, and that's one thing you love about him. He's competing and give you all every night.
Buddy, you mentioned earlier you got to be free and let fly. How much of that attitude do you think explains your career and your success? I mean, one of the reasons the Warriors seem to value you is even if you miss shots, you're going to keep shooting, and that spacing the value that adds, even if you're not making a lot of them.
Right. Just next shot mentality. You can't think about it. If you think about it, then it's going to mess your whole mind up. And shooters, we have bad days and good days, but today was a good day for sure. Just keep building up this one.
Buddy, there's been a lot of talk about their blitzing and trapping. Is that something you guys invite as an offense? Is that something you want them to do in their coverage of Curry?
What do you think?
It seemed like you had some success tonight.
Yeah, you want them to blitz you, and then after that you play 4-on-3 basketball and just find an open guy. Great. Thank you.
GP2, everyone that's come in here and spoke highly of your game and how you turned things around for the Warriors. You did that again tonight with a big spark. What did that for you? How did that happen in the second half? Just kind of take me through that.
Just be aggressive. Know how they're going to play me. Usually have the big on me, so we going to work. Go up there, try to get Steph open. They want to blitz Steph. Just slip out and make plays in the pocket. They don't step up. Go be aggressive. If they do, just hit the open guy.
Gary, I just saw your dad, and I said, 11 points, 11 of your 16 points in the fourth, and he said, he's got to be special. He's got to be special. What are those conversations like, and just in terms of taking advantage of your minutes and making something happen?
Like I said, just being aggressive. I know how they're going to play me, and it's the first time I'm hearing him say I'm special, so well, thank you for that. I'm going to ask him about that.
You are special. Also, just the hustle plays and the ball movement. It seemed like you were able to get some good looks, and just Steve mentioned the spacing being so crucial to Steph. Taking some better looks too.
Absolutely, yeah. We were a little bunched up in the first half, so we emphasized on being spaced and having corners filled and letting Steph, pick who he wants to pick on, and just give him space and opportunity to make plays and just be available for him. So just being space available. If they want to collapse on 30 and he hits the open guy, we just got to make open shots.
Gary, two quick ones. How much does that play in your hands when a team sells out on stuff like that? Because as we've talked about in the past, you thrive on playing with him.
Oh yeah, just stay ready so you don't have to get ready. It's just another corner three for me, by myself. So just take my time and do what I've been doing, working on corner threes, and just knock them down. They go in when they matter. So that's all I care about.
And can you describe that foul? Looked like almost an open field block of Dylan Brooks. And did you note the irony of that, I guess?
Which one are you talking about?
Late in the game when you were sort of in the open court. And you were,
I didn't see him.
I thought I saw this.
Gary, what was the key to taking away the Rocket space? It seemed like today they were trying to play in a phone booth.
Yeah, game two, we gave them a little too much space. They got open looks and went where they wanted to go. So just to, kill that space and just make it tough and muggy for them, and try to make them make plays, down stretch. And we was able to create turnovers and go the other way and capitalize. So we continue that for the rest of the series. I think we'll be in a good look.
Does a win like this over Houston without Jimmy, provide the group extra confidence moving forward?
Absolutely. We had to have Jimmy's back, while he was out. So hopefully we get Jimmy back for Game 4 and, we get back to our regular schedule program. You guys are great.